So let us now start off with question number 10. Since its completion in 2014, Bosco Verticale, vertical forest, a pair of residential towers in Milan, Italy, covered by vegetation, has become a striking symbol of environmental sustainability in architecture. Stefano Boeri intended his design, which features balconies that are home to hundreds of trees, to serve as a model for promoting urban biodiversity. However, the concept has faced skepticism. Critics note that although the trees used in Bosco Verticale were specifically cultivated for the project, it's too early to tell if they can thrive in this unusual setting. According to the text, why are some critics skeptical of the concept behind Bosco Verticale? So, here we can see that we have to focus on why the critics are skeptical. And already it is mentioned here, the concept has faced skepticism. Critics note that although the trees used in Bosco Verticale were specifically cultivated for the project, the main problem is they are telling that it's too early to tell if they can thrive in this unusual setting. So that is the problem which the critics have. So which should we choose as the answer? Is it A, some essential aspects of Bosco Verticale's design are difficult to adapt to locations other than Milan? The plant life on Bosco Verticale ended up being less varied than Boeri had envisioned it would be. C, the construction of Bosco Verticale was no less environmentally damaging than the construction of more conventional buildings is. Or D, it is unclear whether Bosco Verticale can support the plant life included in its design. So again, this is very easy to solve because the wrong answers are very evident. So definitely A is not correct, because although the text states that one of Boeri's goals was for Bosco Verticale to serve as a model for promoting biodiversity in architecture, which suggests that Boeri would likely support the idea of reproducing the same concept in other locations. But the text does not discuss whether it is feasible to adapt the design to locations other than Milan. Instead, the text describes critics' concern that the plant life that currently exists on Bosco Verticale might not thrive in this current setting. So it is difficult to adapt to locations other than Milan. That all that is not mentioned in this text at all. We have nothing in the given paragraph to support that. Then B is incorrect because although the text states that one of Boeri's goals in creating Bosco Verticale was to promote biodiversity, which implies a goal of including varied plant life in the design, it does not mention whether the hundreds of trees that were planted on its balconies failed to meet this goal. Again, that is not mentioned. Rather, the text states that some critics are concerned about the trees which may or may not thrive in this setting. They are wondering if they will thrive or not. Okay. Then C, this is also incorrect because the text does not mention how Bosco Verticale was constructed, let alone how environmentally destructive its construction may have been relative to the construction of more conventional buildings. Nothing about how it is constructed, how it was constructed, and what happened, nothing like that is mentioned. Nothing in the text can support that. So definitely answer will be D. So if you said that, well done. That is the correct answer. This is the best answer because it presents a statement about critics' skepticism of Bosco Verticale that is supported by the text. The text states that Boeri's design for Bosco Verticale features hundreds of trees on balconies and is intended to serve as a model for promoting urban diversity. So it was constructed so that people can see that it is possible to live with plants also, like a green building. But the text goes on to state that some critics believe that it is too early to determine if the trees planted in Bosco Verticale can thrive there. So therefore, according to the text, the critics are skeptical of the concept behind Bosco Verticale because it's unclear whether Bosco Verticale can support the plant life included in its design. Whether those plants will continue to survive and thrive, only time will tell. So it's too early to talk about that. That is the problem. That is the issue with the critics. That's the issue they have. So